Hey everyone, Xbox just had their developer direct, which features about 6.5 minutes of Forza Motorsport content, much of which has not been seen by the public before. So let's jump in and summarize and analyze what was shown and talked about. First things first, we've got to start with some bad news. The new Motorsport was previously given a release date of spring 2023, but in this conference, at the end screen, we instead see coming 2023. So although it wasn't directly stated here, I think this is pretty clearly evidence of a delay. Now, does this mean it's getting pushed back just to summer, or what I think is more likely, are we getting an October or November release date? Either way, it is heartbreaking to know we likely won't be playing the new Motorsport as soon as we thought, but honestly, we've been waiting long enough already. I'm in no big rush. Let's move over to some more news and pull out some stats that were brought up in the show. For one, Motorsport will have over 500 cars on release. Not a crazy number, but I think about what was expected. GT7, for example, released with over 400, and Motorsport 7 released with over 700. My hopes here for the car roster is that all the models are getting rebuilt or at least heavily retouched for Motorsport 8. I don't want to see another game with the same S15 model we've had for nearly a decade now. One thing that gives some evidence to this is the new paint system, which looks absolutely incredible. GT7 did something similar as well, and honestly, just from these shots, I think Gran Turismo paints might still look better, but from what we can see here, the new paint rendering looks like a massive step up from Motorsport 7 and Horizon. Now, going back to the car list, we also know that within that 500 plus car roster, over 100 will be new to Motorsport. To be clear, that's new to Motorsport, not new to Forza. Horizon players will already be familiar with cars like the Brabham BT62, which is confirmed to be one of the new cars coming to Motorsport. I'll run through on screen here all the cars we know so far coming to FM8. Sadly, within this list, there is still no Lancia or Alpha in there, so that shows me that it's unlikely Forza was able to secure a deal with Stellantis yet again. We will, of course, though, be getting some new cars we haven't seen at all in Horizon, though, like the 2021 Porsche Mission R, but expect to see your healthy dose of crossover. Nothing too surprising there. As a final note, in the car roster, they did say they will deliver the most modern race cars they've ever featured in a Forza Motorsport game. The lack of really modern cars is definitely a bit of a sticking point for Horizon players, so it seems Motorsport is taking that to heart. Let's hope they can match what they're saying, though, with actual content. Now, they also mentioned over 800 unique upgrades, which, while that sounds nice, isn't that impressive when compared against what we heard prior to Horizon 5's launch, when Playground was quoted saying, "We have also added 100 new rims, hundreds of new visual upgrades, and thousands of performance upgrades." That was a quote that I think got us all excited for Horizon, but now that we have it in our hands, we saw it was a bit of PR speak, and didn't equate to that many new customization parts. So honestly, I don't expect too many new parts here in Motorsport either. In the very brief gameplay-ish window that we saw this MX-5 being customized, we not only saw already existing body kit options, we also saw the same freaking Forza wing we've had for 10 years. Get rid of this thing, Forza. We all hate it, and I cannot believe Motorsport is going to be releasing with the same exact wing model we had a decade ago. Anyway, let's move over to talk tracks and locations. Motorsport 8 will be releasing with 20 locations, including ones like Spa, Hakone, Kyalami, Laguna Seca, Maple Valley, Silverstone, and Suzuka. Now, Motorsport 7 released with 32 racetrack locations, so it's a bummer to see that we're getting, ballpark 200 fewer cars and 12 less locations than the previous title on launch. Again, the hope here is that these cars and tracks are extremely high fidelity models and very accurate representations of the real things. One thing that was mentioned, which I do think is pretty cool, is that the track announcers will be different based on where you are in the world. So if you're racing Suzuka, for example, there will be a Japanese announcer. Now, I think we can definitely expect some strong post-launch content support with this game. We've seen that start with Horizon 4 and continue, of course, with 5, and now, especially with this game being branded simply Forza Motorsport, not Motorsport 8, it feels like they're really trying to build a long-standing sim racing platform instead of just a bi-yearly release racing game. For this to succeed though, we're gonna need some very strong post-launch content support, massively improved physics and wheel feedback, and an in-depth, fair, ranked online system. They did speak lightly to the online by saying Motorsport would feature their incredible new online racing mode, but we didn't get any details on it, and we really need things like a good penalty system, balanced matchmaking, and reliable netcode. That, in my eyes, is the only way this game will succeed and squeeze into the very tight and well-established existing sim racing market. They spoke a bit to the single player as well, though, stating that there is an all-new car-building focused single-player career, which sounds great, but we didn't see anything about it, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one too. We also got a few more tidbits about the physics, which I think just kind of helped define the direction they're going in. They said they made changes inspired by player feedback, which result in a more fun and rewarding driving experience with how the car accelerates, corners, and brakes. And to focus on them saying fun and rewarding instead of realistic, honestly, FM8 shouldn't worry about being the most realistic racing sim out there. You just can't and shouldn't try to topple the established PC sim giants like AC or iRacing. In my opinion, focusing on good gameplay that's largely realistic but also accessible is more important, I think, for a game like this, to put it more in line with its major competitor, Gran Turismo. I am hoping for and expecting significant wheel feedback improvements here. We saw a huge leap forward in Horizon 5. Honestly, that game feels better on a wheel than Motorsport 7, so I expect Motorsport 8 to feel good on a sim rig. And honestly, folks, I really wish I could be sitting here talking for another 20 minutes about all the new details we saw here today, but we just didn't get too much. Some new media and gameplay, a lot of PR speak, and a release delay. Here's hoping the old motto still rings true. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. So thanks for watching, folks, and stay tuned for more motorsport news. There will be a Forza Monthly with Chris Asaki tomorrow, the 26th, but I expect that to largely just rehash a lot of the details we got here today. But either way, make sure to tune into that if you do want some more details, as I'm heading out of the country for a couple days and won't be here to cover it myself, just in case anything big does get dropped. So again, thanks all for watching, tune into the Forza Monthly tomorrow, and I'll see you in the next video.